Debbie. It's me, Natalie. Today is Monday, July the 14th, 2025. And yesterday I delivered to you a message from your beloved little Maltese mix. I can't remember now at this point, but definitely I saw the Maltese sweetest ever little puppy, Maddie. I delivered to you a message from your beloved dog, who is an angel in heaven. I had to scream out loud yesterday during that message because, well, we're in a heat wave here, and where I give my angel messages from, usually from behind Barn Way, which is right there. All the fans were rolling and it was really, really loud from the fans. Today I've decided to come and do, I got your message today, Debbie, and you'd asked if I ever do any follow-up videos, and I thought, well, you sent a pretty long response to what you gathered, what you received from this message from Maddie that I delivered to you from Maddie from heaven yesterday. And I thought, you know, I'm going to come out today to my special place here on the farm to do the follow-up video for you. I am here on Beaver Hill. This is the west side of our farm property. It is the place that from behind the barn, from the house, we can see out to here. Up here is Beaver Hill. Beyond that way is where I saw the rare white albino deer. My husband saw a UFO when he was a teenager land in this field. Listen, they're crazier things. This is also where last year, April of 2024, I began what is now what I refer to as Beaver Hill Grave. My first life ever buried here was a bobcat, Debbie, a bobcat that was hit by a car and catapulted into our farm property. And for me, that's when really here on this farm, we've been for 2 years now, my husband's childhood home, where all of the fairy tale adventures for me began, as I carried that dying bobcat around in a front carrier baby Bjorn for 9 hours until he died. And he was the first life that I buried here, Beaver Hill Grave. We now have many hens buried here, a couple of baby chicks. We have a fox carcass, a very special Luna moth that hung out with me all day one day as it was dying, and I knew it was dying. Most recently, during the heat wave, about 3 weeks ago, I lost one of my most precious, special young girl hens named Chunky. And she is buried here with the Buddha. Maddie is with me again right now. This is a little bit different than the message I gave you yesterday because this is a follow-up, okay? And yet, it is important for me to assure that you do understand everything. Thank you for your response. It all makes sense to me, what you shared with me after receiving the message from Maddie yesterday. Here is your follow-up video now. The first thing I'm going to say is the little girl, the angel with the pink bows that is with Maddie in heaven, with your words, I, along with Maddie right now, remember, heaven is not just above, but universally speaking, we always point up, you know, heaven above, you know, heaven is everywhere. Heaven is within us. Heaven surrounds us. You know, heaven is everywhere. The young girl, her name is not Charlie. You helped to validate. Maddie now validates. Charlie is Maddie's BFF, BDF, best dog friend across the street. I find this beautiful because what Maddie also delivers along with that today for you, Debbie. Maddie doesn't want you to stop the connection that you grew to have with these neighbor friends of yours. I don't know if they're friends or if they're just neighbors, you know, whatever else. And yet, perhaps you were only close with them because your two dogs liked each other. That's a common thing in life today. And yet what Maddie's wanting you to definitely do is to keep this connection alive with Charlie, the BDF, the neighbors, Charlie's family. Keep that connection alive. That's first off I wanted to mention. I do come with my little notes because, well, that's what I do, Debbie. That's how I roll. I found it interesting that you said, you know, you did bring Maddie to the beach in the fall time. She was never allowed on the beach. You would let her out onto the little porch. I haven't even opened up those pictures. You said you sent a couple of pictures. I haven't yet seen those pictures. I will look at them. And yet the importance of you sharing to me, and I'm going to explain to you why Maddie showed me the vision of her sitting on the beach with you. Very important, because when you respond back to me, the visions that I receive from yesterday make clearer sense to me, which delights Maddie because it then helps you to further understand as well. I now understand the reason Maddie showed the vision of her sitting on the beach with you under an umbrella. The biggest thing I saw, and I remembered feeling it at that time, but unsure of why I felt it, she definitely wanted me to focus in on the fact she was wearing a leash. Today, now, with your words, you see, you help me, I help you. Together, it's called full circle. This is how it works. This is how we understand messages in life from heaven, from angels. What the leash represents in this vision that Maddie gave to me yesterday is that is the connection. Think about in life when we do take dogs for a walk or anywhere we need to take them to, we put them on a leash. Why? To keep them safe and to have them follow our lead. To keep them close to us so that we don't separate. This leash in this vision symbolizes Maddie's way of wanting you to know. It's not that she, you know, is on the beach with you now, whatever, but yet, yes, now she is. She's like, I could be on the beach with you all the time now. Not as my body, I'm in heaven, and yet our connection is eternal. And now when you go to the beach, and I'm not with you physically, know that when you do sit on the beach, you yourself, Debbie, know that Maddie is sitting right next to you, and that leash is a metaphor, is a symbol of an everlasting connection between human and dog. The leash is very much so representative of the connection, the bond between the master, the human, the hand that feeds, the one that shares the bed with, such life. I laugh because I definitely saw her wearing a bikini. And in your words today, you said, you know, she never had a bikini. She wore a flamingo dress. That's funny because I actually just last night, Natalie, I just found one of my old little night. It's like a nightie, I guess. It could be a dress, but to me it was like a nightie. And it had pink flamingos on it. And I wore that to bed last night. So when I read these words, I was like, okay, this is bizarre. And yet, heaven will continue to be bizarre. Because heaven knows that if heaven made sense to us, then we wouldn't wonder. And if we don't wonder, then we're not curious. And if we're not curious, then we're not seeking to learn further. To break through those barriers and boundaries that life creates for us, Debbie. And so I find it beautiful whenever anything does capture my attentions in a bizarre, unusual, unexpected way. I wore a pink flamingo nightie to bed last night, and here your words today were saying that Maddie had this flamingo dress. Maddie does have a pink bikini in heaven. I don't know who the little girl is. Definitely there is a little girl. The thing is, what's hard for people to understand in life, Debbie, is that when we die, humans or animals, we are eternal, we are everything without body, and without this brain, our mind. It is all soul. And so very often, you've heard of people referring to people in life as you're an old soul or you're a young soul. Very often when we leave our body and our soul goes to heaven, which is everywhere, our soul encompasses where we're happiest at, where we were happiest at in life. This little girl may not be a little girl at all. Perhaps she was an older lady when she died. It is somebody who is special. She had blonde hair, I can tell you that. I do believe for sure Charlie is the BDF best dog friend, so we can definitely validate that right there. This doesn't mean that this little girl that I saw was a little girl when she died. It could be that this little girl found her greatest peace in her life here on earth when she was a little girl. You asked me if our pets miss us. Of course they miss us. What's so important for us to realize in life, again, as I was just explaining about the young girl, the angel in heaven that I saw with Maddie, is that when we die and we leave behind our body and we leave behind our brain, our mind, and we take with us our soul, well, think about in life, where does our emotion come from? How do we miss somebody in life? When you would take Maddie to the vet or something, oh, I miss Maddie, I miss Maddie. You're missing Maddie because you have a mind that has emotion and thought. In heaven, we don't have a mind. That doesn't mean angels don't have emotion. It's that it's all soul felt emotion. And when I point to here, soul, our soul is our whole being internally, Debbie. And yet it's easier to, show it this way to life. I hope this all makes sense. Maddie, of course, misses you. And yet it is a peaceful missing of you because Maddie sees all, Maddie knows all, as well as animals in particular have a way of being born into this life on earth with a unknowing knowing that when they are called home by God, there is no arguing. There is no, can I wait? Just can I go a little bit later? Can I just have 2 more weeks, God? Animals know when they are called to heaven that there is further purpose for their soul. We can go into all different venues from there, whether, you believe in reincarnation, whatever else. And yet the reality is, your question was, does Maddie miss me? Yes, Maddie misses you without sorrow, without pain, without a need to scratch down the gates of heaven to get through those pearly gates and back here to earth to you. Maddie accepts. This is how it all goes. It is animals' purpose in their own unknowing ways to help us in life further understand and accept the reality of life and death being part of the full circle, as well as understanding that death itself is but a single breath, a final inhale and or final exhale. Life itself remains eternal beyond here. You asked me, you said when you were going to watch the video that your husband doesn't exactly believe in all of this stuff. And I shared with you, as I've shared with many people in life, well, my husband does not believe in any of this stuff either. In fact, for most of my life, Debbie, I used to refer to it as, I don't make this shit up. And then there came a point in my life where I realized, well, this is not shit. This is real. This is heaven on earth. This is angels. This is spirit. This is life. It is not shit. And that is when I began to accept that I cannot force anybody to believe anything. I can't force anybody to believe anything beyond even angels. It's not an easy life to share with somebody who doesn't believe, especially when you're someone like me who does talk to angels and God and Jesus every day of my life. I continue to seek ways to find such balance in my own life with my husband. I've been with my husband for 33 years. He is a beautiful man, a beautiful soul. I am blessed to be able to share my life with him, as well as I'm so grateful for all that he does do to gift and afford me and help me in the ways that he does, so that I can continue being and living my life as the Good Shepherd. I am Natalie. I am the Good Shepherd. I am a messenger of heaven. I deliver messages from angels to life, and it is a beautiful life. And what I've also come to understand, Debbie, along with that, is that, well, you know, heaven has its own rules, and sometimes heaven creates such barriers and boundaries in order to help such a messenger in life be able to continue delivering such love, peace, and joy, as well as messages to life from heaven. I've always been aware it's a really hard life to live, Debbie. It's a hard life. It's a hard enough life. Isn't that a musical? Annie, it is a hard life. And yet for me, family is even harder. But the life I live in sharing my soul, my mind, and my body with heaven is so tenfold, amazingly, undeniably beautiful. Nobody can take that away from me. I'm not afraid to share, and I will continue to share. I don't know what's going on here right now. There's something that fell back here behind the barn, and they're getting a little worked up. So I'm going to come check on everybody over here, but I wanted to share this with you today. I had Beaver Hill Grave, a very, very special place. And I will tell you, it was Maddie, your dog, Maddie, who said to me 17 minutes ago, Natalie, it's me, Maddie. Why don't you head out to Beaver Hill Grave to do this video? I don't normally do follow-up videos like this, and so I find it beautiful that, again, it was your dog, Maddie, who now will live in my soul forever and ever, amen. And anytime you do have any questions, or anytime Maddie wants you to know something, Maddie knows where I am, and you know where I am. And that's how it all works. Debbie, I hope this all makes sense. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And thank you for sharing Maddie with me.